Good morning, GM. Give me just a second, y'all. Sorry for running a few minutes behind on this beautiful morning as well. I thought I had this set for 12:15 and had it set for 12. Need to go ahead and tweet this out and also post it on the what's it called as well, Discord as well. If you guys want to hop on, feel free to jump up here. Either way, I will talk through all the random shit that we have going on this week. I did a quick little stream earlier this morning, which was also a little bit of fun. Dude, it's fun playing around with like all the different stuff that ChatGPT can do pretty quickly. I'll ask ChatGPT about the Wonky Stonks. All right, one second. Okay, I'm getting this out there on the Discord at the moment as we speak. But again, it's been fun right now watching the NFT marketplace slowly grind and accumulate higher recently. We had ice bags recently earlier this week with a nice sweep on the wonkies. That was awesome. All right. I'm going to get one of you guys up here on stage with me. Somebody's got to do it. There we go. The man, the myth, the legend, Nelsonius himself. What's going on, man?
Oh, what's going on? I'm doing well. I'm still trying to recover from Art Basel. It has been a slow process.
I was going to ask, man. I know that you ended up going to it. Haven't heard from you since. So, how many days were you there? Were you there same as Rooster, Thursday through Sunday?
Yes, but in talking with, and I don't know if Rooster's here, not yet, but it felt like we were there for a month. So, like, even though it was 4 days, it was just, going full tilt the entire time we were there, which was awesome. I mean, I had some of the best fun I've had in like years.
Love to hear that, man. Love to hear it. So, real question though is, you say you're still recovering. How long did it actually really take you before you felt bad? I mean, like, or are you seriously still feeling down bad right now?
I think I'm still feeling down. I mean, getting to the airport was a struggle on Sunday. I mean, like Rooster and I were like, it looked like we were coming out of like some like hospital ward. We were like holding each other up to like get to our gates. And then, consequently get home, to real life and all the stuff that's just been kind of on hold. And I'm still like exhausted. I mean, I was trying to keep up with people like half my age, which is, not a good place to start.
Well, dude, the thing though about those type of conferences, there are a lot of people though. I mean, it's not like you realize there aren't just the Zoomers in this space. There are a lot of guys that are out there, in their 30s, 40s, whatever the heck out there too. And I know you being out there in your 60s must have been a little bit tough, but I respect you making it out there either way.
Whoa. 60s. Man, I just gained like a decade or a couple of decades. What happened?
I'm just messing with you.
Actually, you know what? That's probably true, because that's like how I feel after this. I probably like aged 20 years.
Dude, that's funny. I mean, you realize though, it doesn't take much of those conferences to really feel like it though at the very end of it all. So I'm
Yeah.
curious on your. I know you guys did a lot of things like together with the Room 110 fam, and Rooster gave me a little bit about of that rundown. What was your favorite event out of everything that happened last week?
Yeah, and we were kind of like doing a debrief yesterday with some of the crew that was there, and there wasn't like one specific like party or thing, but I think a couple of us had got this penthouse in Wynwood, and just like that and the vibes that were around that, I think was like the best, right? I mean, like people met there before, after, all hours of the day, and that was just like a really good sort of like collecting point. And I think like everything stemmed from there. So I think just like that penthouse and like everything that was associated with it was like the crucible for like just everything else that happened.
Love to hear it, man. Cube, welcome back, man. How's it going?
It's going well. Wonky Friday to all of you. Bummed I missed our Basil. Sounded like a hell of a good time between Rooster's stories, everybody else's stories, and when Sony's just kind of broke down there. But in all fairness, I couldn't turn down a free trip to Cancun. So I'll catch the next one.
I feel that, man. I thought you were going for a minute to Basel. Like, I was confused when I saw you on the beach and posting those pictures. I thought that was from Miami whenever you were sharing them.
It was beachy vibes. I was supporting the Wonky Stonk merch push, with the swim trunks that the wife
Loved it.
surprised me
Loved it.
for my birthday. But just drinking a whole bunch of Mai Tais and whatnot at the Hard Rock. So it was a good time. And after around here today, on my way to Target to spend another couple $100 on Christmas lights. The new house. I've never done Christmas lights outside, and I might be developing a Clark Griswold complex.
So, like, the more you put up, the more you realize you need to put up.
You're like, you know what? We could use something else over here. And I'm not an inflatable guy. I think inflatables are tacky. I'm a purist of lights, mix of color and white. Color and white.
Okay, so you think the inflatables are tacky. What about, like, those little, the deer that are wrapped in Christmas lights, like that type of stuff?
Absolutely. That's if you don't need oxygen to get it properly displayed. I think you're fine. Like I got a reindeer. I actually have a penguin, not a pudgy penguin, which Bog you need to get on some fucking Christmas ornament shit. Like inflatable yard art, not inflatable, but yard art stuff. Got a car. I got some of the stuff. So yeah, makes the kids happy and it gives me something to do.
You need
Love.
to get a cube and wrap the cube in lights. I want to see a big light cube in your front yard.
Dude, a wonky Christmas cube would be epic. That's on
That
the
would
table.
that'd be awesome.
That'd be fire. And then I don't see Wonka in here, but it's the wonky legend Willy Wonka's birthday today. So got to shout him out too.
Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that it was his birthday. Happy, that he lived to the ripe old age of 24, as he put it. Well, like crazy, crazy stuff. Can't imagine what it's like to be that geriatric. I'm just kidding. Rooster's the only one on this stage that might actually have that perspective. The rest of us, like Rooster, you're here with a few boomers.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody else on this stage is under the age of 30 outside of you.
I'm like 300, Kaleo. I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm 300.
I'm a boomer quickly encroaching on Karen status. Karen
Oh
level.
no.
I mean, the more you're talking about the Clark Griswold syndrome, and the way you're decking out the house, like, it sounds like it, man. It's impressive, though.
The
But
things
yeah,
we do to
Colette,
try to stay young.
I didn't know if it was just because I was slightly inebriated, but I thought Cube and 80s were with us in Basel the whole time too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my goodness, man, that's amazing. Yeah, dude, it was. Everybody that I've talked to so far that went to Basel, like, I haven't talked to one person yet that like regrets going. I talked to Frank and Thread Guy yesterday on that random space that Thread Guy and I did. That was fun. Rooster, why didn't you speak on stage at all whenever you hopped up there, brother?
I mean, I was I was waiting, but the
You
vibes
got to
were just
just
flowing.
interject.
Yeah, I know. The vibes were just flowing though, and I was having fun, just spamming emojis and listening and just vibing out. But yeah, that was a great space yesterday. It was had just as good energy, if not better, from when we had KSI and Carol Baskins up on stage.
Bro,
That
that's the
was it.
thing. You realize quickly that with a lot of these spaces, you've got two vibes that you can go for in a space, right? Like, the first vibe is very educational, informative, whatever else. The second is just hanging out, and like, it had good energy with a lot of the people that ended up stopping by. Like, thread guy is hilarious. Frank is also absolutely hilarious. I might have taken it too far, exposing Bernie Madoff being his father, but it was a good time.
No, yeah, it was such a great space. Um, but yeah, I'll be joining in on all the next ones, and I'll be just interjecting more.
Yeah, first off, shout out again to I'm rocking my Panda because
That's what I was
Bags
about to say.
swept the wonky floor earlier this week. So shout out to Bags, shout out to the Pandas. And the Pandas also, man. I mean, like, they've had a hell of a week too. Looking at it, bro. I mean, they hit 0.75. I'm not sure what they're at right now. Let me check. I haven't checked this morning yet.
They're like
Uh,
0.76, I think floor.
Dude, which is wild. Like, has there been anything else that I've missed since Basel that's kind of been driving this pump?
Yes. So they just hired Steve Espinoza, who's like a ex White House advisor hired by Obama, and then continued by Trump, and very super intelligent dude. Um, a lot of connections, and yeah, he was just officially hired and part of the team. Someone else as well. They hired a good lawyer. Let me look, but yeah, he was hired on as an advisor. And also there's one other person. I just need to find it real quick. But what's funny too is because during the first initial surge from like 0.33 ish to like 0.5 ish during Basel, the Discord was rugged. Uh, I don't know what happened, but Discord just deleted the Panda server, and so they had like an intern Telegram, but then they just created another server like 2 days ago. Uh,
So it's
what's funny
back and
is
it's running, and it still kept running. The floor price did even after like that happening. It's impressive.
right. Someone just bought a 101 like 2 days ago for 30 ETH.
Was
So
that
that
the
was pretty
angel
fun.
sale?
Yeah, that was the Angel. That was fun. Yeah, people are just starting to understand that, Bags is actually building something like fairly decent, truly building. And so it's just organic growth.
I got you, man. Hey, how many pandas would you trade for the Kaleo panda?
I couldn't trade for that one. I'd have to be Kaleo to rock the Kaleo Panda.
Love it, man. I mean, hey, you know what? I would part with my Kaleo Panda for 69 ETH. You
69
know,
ETH.
69 ETH. Like that is the current price. That's only good through the end of 2022. So if anybody in the crowd wants the Kaleo Panda, 69 ETH up until you've got 3 weeks left to make that offer. Next year, it jumps up to 420 ETH.
I was gonna say that's not 500 million though.
Bro, what did you think of that conversation yesterday? First off, shout out to Joey. Shout out to the Penguins that are in the chat right now. I want to hear your thoughts on the $500 million question for Joey's Penguin.
So he was capping. He was trying to save face, but everybody knows cash in front of you, 500 million. There's not many things you wouldn't do.
Yes, yes, I agree with that. Like, it reminds me, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was, had some good friends over at my buddy's lake house. And there was this one girl that, like, we asked her, okay, what would it cost you to, just peck on the lips like another girl, to kiss another girl? How much money? And somebody brought up the number $1 million. She's like, no. Somebody brought up the number 500 million. She's like, no. Somebody said $1 billion cash right in front of you. Just has to be like the smallest peck in the world. Would you do it? And she was like, no, that compromises my morals. There's no way in hell. And I'm like, thinking to myself, if somebody had $1 billion of cash in front of you, I guarantee you that you'd be like, man, it would compromise my morals not to like just a quick peck on the like.
Let's
Not
be
only
honest.
that, you're compromising morals and not taking the money because of how much good you could do with the money. So like,
That's what I'm saying.
That's even worse.
I would do a lot of really weird stuff for about $1 million. So
Cube's advertising his price chart now.
There you go. A lot of weird stuff if you want some video.
All right, so we know Cube's like, and if that's Cube's number, if he's saying $1 million, like I bet we can get him for 10,000.
Yeah,
like,
probably. Yeah,
that's the deal. The 10% rule. 10% of whatever ridiculous number somebody throws out there, they probably still do the same thing for.
You'd probably do it for a super guppy.
And I said 10%, maybe the 1% rule. I guess whatever it is.
It's like going to a casino and you have tiered rewards. Like the $10,000 level, that's like Sapphire. The $1 million, that gets you to Diamond Club status. But yeah, I can be bought and sold very easily.
Good to know, man. Good to know. But yeah, I respected him sitting there saying it, but like, I'm curious. Do y'all have anything in life like that you own? Any possession, whether it's an NFT or anything else, that you're like, man, there is no number here for this, right? Like somebody else, buys, trades, whatever else. Like, is there anything that you can think of right off the top of your head that you would have had that same level of conviction for?
$500 million?
500 million?
Absolutely not. like anything that I own personally, like maybe there's not, there is not things I would do. Like I wouldn't like start blowing things up with people in them for $500 million. Like that's on a whole nother level. But as far as things I own, absolutely not.
Like one thing I've thought about, have y'all kept up with Beeple sales recently?
No.
Like, I'm curious, what market really is there? Who are the buyers of these Beeple everydays? Because I know he constantly puts them out there, right? But I never really see anybody that I know on the NFT side of things on Twitter that are actually out there posting about, like just collected this rare, whatever Beeple every day. Like, I don't see that happening daily on the timeline. But, it goes back to kind of insanely how I don't get how somebody like that was able to get that insane valuation for their everyday, the 69 million one from Metacoven. back in 2021. That one still blows my mind, man, how that was valued. And, not just what it did for people, what it really did for the industry back then. And I truly wonder, like, the people that are collecting these everydays that come out there, kind of playing off that residual purchase, what market really is out there for them, and what market would realistically be out there for that one of one later in the future.
To be 100% honest, I have no
Yeah.
idea. To be 100%
Bro,
honest, I have no idea.
Rooster, that was the funniest thing too yesterday. What's his name? VGX.
Oh, when he asked the question.
That's like a 2-minute long question. Seeing that every single person on stage tuned out during it.
That was hilarious. Yeah, and I was thinking about another question too, because I was going to ask Thread Guy a question as well. So yeah, I was completely not listening. I was like, I hadn't spoken at that point either, so I was like, someone else is going to take the run on this one, and then everyone tried to hand it off.
Bro, every single person. I think it shows you the importance, though, of trying to keep the question succinct, because I even realized that too. Like, if I ask a question that lasts longer than 20 seconds to spit out, like, nobody's going to have an answer for you. You have to rephrase it and have it, like, out within 5 seconds. Otherwise, you're just F.
Yeah, it's just all these ADHD motherfuckers on Spaces. You got to keep it short and sweet. Constant entertainment.
No, exactly, man. Because, like, I guarantee you, there's no way, especially on a space. What are you doing typically while you're on a space? You're not looking at people in their eyes, right? Like, so you're not forced to focus like you would be a video call. So a lot of the time, like, it's easy to get distracted and kind of like wander off, like you're browsing the web, you're doing whatever else, somebody texts you. Like, it can be really easy to get distracted throughout the course of a lot of these, right? Rooster half the time is in the car, which, hey, I respect that. But, like, that's still not always easy to keep track of everything going on. Cube, I know, is taking care of like 8 children. Nelsonius, is taking care of like 7 grandchildren.
Cube, an OG frog just sold for 0.36. Listed and sold within like a couple minutes.
That's criminal.
Yeah.
That's criminal. God damn.
Oh, by the way, shout out to the frogs too.
Frogs are doing well. Frogs are doing well. Pons' deal, it's slow build. It's coming together. The cool thing, there's separation in some of the rarer traits in the OGs, like that damn one for 0.36. I mean, that stuff gets gobbled instantly, which is, obvious sign of health. The one I was pissed about, there was a robot OG that went for 0.39. And it was listed for like 2 minutes earlier this week, which is like my holy grail from that collection. But yeah, frogs are doing great. I'm happy. And Rooster, you bought a couple, yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, I swept a couple yesterday just because they it ran through the poll between the seals and the frogs. There's like 700 votes or something, and 85% of them were frogs. So got to give it to them for that. And then I forgot I had a collection offer. So last night, after my panda sold, I went to one of my pandas. So I went to go make an offer on more pandas. And then I got the ping that I bought something on OpenSea. I was like, sweet, just got another Genesis. And then I noticed it was another frog. Forgot I had my collection offer up still. So I also got a third frog yesterday.
Well, but the great part about that, though, then, Rooster, is if you're getting them based on offers rather than just going and buying on the floor, like, I think that's a better buy anytime, right?
Right.
Because you're getting them at like X% discount. And, it eventually helps you. I feel like, especially with the frogs, like, bro, I love the frogs, but it makes it really difficult if you're looking from the investing perspective a lot of the time to be able to chalk up there's a 12.5% fee on the other side of this. Like, that's one thing. I love Pons. I really love him. And he's talked about, I think literally since I've talked to him back in June about, hey, soon. He kept dropping like soon that they're going to reduce that. And I really think it'd be beneficial for them at the end of the day. Like I see his thought process where he's like, well, it incentivizes holding for longer, and we want to be able to reward people that hold for longer. But at the end of the day, I still think like reducing that barrier slightly, like, it is something that prevents some people from entering into the ecosystem sometimes, right?
So in that vein, he did take some feedback. I mean, similar to yours, other people have said things, and he did start a pseudo swap pool, which I think is like, no, instead of getting gouged for 12.5 between OS and there, he ended up set 7.5 total on pseudo.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, then he took the feedback then. That's amazing.
So I mean, as far as like founders go, he's receptive, listens stuff, very analytical. I'm betting on pawns. And then,
Yeah.
hey, we need to get another space with you and him together, because the first one, that was pretty damn good.
I'm down, man. I'm trying to set up. I'm going to start sending out some DMs, try to set up some stuff. I want to set up another space with just Luca, interview him. I want to set up a space with Wob again. I know I've had one with him prior, but I want to set up another Wob space, interview him.
We have Klaus next week.
Yeah, I've got Klaus next week, so meeting with the PA community then. I'm excited about that. Should be fun. I've been trying to set up a space with them for a while, so it'd be fun to get together with Klaus and go through everything that he's got going on.
But I think that's the cool
probably
thing.
Probably about time to meet up with Bags again too. And dude,
Right.
especially, you know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to doing more of these live stream interviews, not just over spaces, but after I finally like face talks, being able to record some of them and get the interviews, with the I guess just face-to-face interaction too. I think that's actually like, a lot more entertaining, and you can extract a little bit more value out of it as well than just doing it over voice on here.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool. You're gonna face docs too, right?
That's it, man. I mean, now that the Twitter poll passed, I guess I've got like 2 or 3 weeks to be able to figure out how I'm going to do it.
I feel like dress up as something.
Dress up as something? Bro, I don't know. I mean, realistically, what I think is there are a few guys back in the day. I remember like the very first time I saw Kobe on video was, I think it was like summer or fall of 2020. I think fall of 2020. There were some old crypto accounts that started streaming, and they had like a party of like 16 people that streamed together. And there were several faces that I saw for the first time doing that. I think it'd be fun to, get some of that old crew back together and, do something similar, just like a big party stream type thing. So that I think is my, what I'm shooting for. But if not, then I don't know, man, I'll figure something else out. Stinky Duck, welcome up to the stage, brother. How's it going?
Hey, good, man. Good to see you guys. I see some faces I haven't seen in a long time in the audience, and I love to see it. I had to come up and comment on your conversation about the space you guys had. I wasn't privy to that conversation, but I mean, if anybody's offered $1 billion to give somebody a peck and they got money in hand, the answer is going to change, man. Like, I'm sucking toes for that much money. Like, are you kidding me? Like, come on.
Bro, exactly.
Doing that for like 10K.
I would 10K.
10K to suck a toe. Cubes in.
Like, for real, man. Like, I get it. Like, we all got our moral compass and everything, and we got to abide by, what's right and wrong. But I mean, if you set up your family for the rest of their lives with 1 second of your time, like, come on, that's just stupid. I mean that in a nice way.
No, I don't mean it in a nice way. I think it's absolutely stupid in the first place. Like, there's nothing nice about it. Like there's just being dumb, and I think that's being dumb. Unless it is something that completely breaks all moral rules, then it's I don't know. But
Yeah, I feel you, man. Like I
like
get that you want to present a certain, brand or image to the public and everything else, but like, come on, like the world is gray. We live in gray. We don't live in white or black.
exactly. So Stinky Duck, how's everything been going with you, sir? How's everything been going with the building?
Oh, doing good, man. Just, I mean, we're built different, right? We got no overhead, so we just keep grinding away. Like we're actually working on multiplayer right now, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, closed out the tournament with Fractal. It was pretty successful. But yeah, man, I mean, we didn't really get affected by everything that's going on, and we continue to keep building. So, but yeah, I appreciate you asking, man. Yeah, going good.
Would love to hear it. Love to hear it. I'm curious. You're a little bit more plugged in on the soul side of things, right?
Correct, sir.
So have you seen? I've heard about several NFT projects that were hosted by FTX. That now the metadata is basically, or at least the link to they weren't even using IPFS. They were using who knows, like maybe Amazon Web Services or something, AWS. Now, because FTX shut down a lot of those projects that were then hosted by FTX, you're basically getting a link now to the FTX bankruptcy court site rather than seeing the link to the JPEG. So I'm curious, have you seen any specific projects that you know of that were affected by that outside of like Coachella?
There have been a few. Nothing like stands out in my mind, but yes, I did hear about that as well. It's really unfortunate. I think it goes right back to owning, not your keys, not your crypto. I mean, in a sense, where you gotta have it in. I don't know. I mean, people got to be a little bit smarter with how they handle their funds for their project and their DAO wallet and everything, right? We do want decentralization. I know we need to use centralized exchanges, but we gotta be realistic and practical with how we do that. So, off the top of my head, I don't have shit. It's kind of escaping me right now, but there was one project, and I know they had their entire DAO in there, and they just got totally annihilated. And they've since had to basically say, "Listen, we don't have any more funds. We're just kind of unplugging. Sorry, everybody." But it's unfortunate to see, and it's a bad taste for everybody. But
Well,
yeah,
bro, that is wait, a DAO having their funds on a centralized exchange seems like a
right?
really big issue in the first place, right? Like because
Exactly. Yeah.
like that's not decentralized. It's not a DAO at that point. I mean, at that point, like the DAO, I guess, is voting on what to do with the funds, but it's still centralized, so one person is ultimately in control of the funds, right?
Yeah. So I mean, it's sad to see, but it's like it's circling right back. I mean, we've seen a lot of the "not your keys, not your crypto." Years like maybe even 2 years ago was really really popular, and then everybody kind of got away from it. And I haven't really been seeing people talk about it consistently anymore. But it just reminds us, hey, this is important. We got to remember.
Amen, man. I mean, I don't know, as far as the stonks that are stuck on there, I'm still talking. I talked to somebody that is still around right now, and he thinks there's a decent chance that all of the NFTs that are kind of locked up will be freed up eventually, but obviously has no idea on any type of a timeline right now with anything with it. So it's frustrating, but hopefully anybody that had things on the US side, hopefully Sam is kind of right with that. Because from the sounds of it, even the bankruptcy filing side of it, they're primarily focusing on the US side prior to moving on to the other stuff. So I'm hoping all of that ends up working out with it, but still in the meantime, I mean, yeah, you see a lot of shit that's still, I guess, kind of unwinding on the aftermath from that contagion.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. I've been talking to my dev about it as well, and just discussing the possibility of minting new additional like parts of the collection that were lost to replace them and updating the metadata and everything and how that would look and just anyway, just talking about solutions for those because there's quite a few. I remember one of the spaces you guys had probably a couple weeks ago, but you were talking about the specific NFTs for specific collections that were locked up in there, and there's a lot of valuable assets there. So, I mean, it'd be good to see those items recovered at least.
That's what we're hoping for, man. That's what we're hoping for. So, yeah, we'll see. So, I'm wondering, Rooster, what should we do for Wonky Christmas? Should we set up another poker tourney?
At the very least.
All right.
I think we should. I think we should do like a few like cross community events as well. Like do like a poker with pandas, and then like do something with like frogs, do something with PA, because that's one thing that stood out to me in Basel as one of the key factors of NFTs is the community and the cross pollination of it, and that's one thing that worked out really really well. So I'd like to see that continue, and I think that'd bring good energy. Do something with the penguins, and yeah, it's my first thought.
I'm down, man. I like that idea. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah, Khalil, would you be interested in doing episode 2 of the game show in room 110?
Oh, I'm definitely down to do more stuff to room 110, man. 100%, 110%, I guess I should say.
I guess I should probably talk to room 110 about that first, but just throwing it out there. We had a lot of fun with Drax and the famous foxes there. It was a hoot. We all had a good time, and it was funny as hell.
Did you guys, I'm curious, Rooster, did you secure any solid room 110 interviews while you were in Basel?
Yeah, I think we have Luca posted for next week with the Pudgy. So we're gonna send you the information about that once we have the date and time official.
Let's go. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. It was just a lot of miscommunication when we first got there, and then we just ended up postponing it. Is what made the most sense because it was the next morning. We were all kind of still drunk from the night before, so we wanted to have better content to give everyone else.
Bro, that's why I won't lie. I was extremely impressed with P.O. and Nick for the fact that they were still able to get up early and knock out their show after also going out and doing everything in the evenings too. I was like, how in the world are y'all up and rallying right now to keep this going?
Yeah, I mean, I got up and rallied, but as far as content on a space, the brain capacity wasn't able to handle that at that point in time in the morning. Full disclosure.
I believe it, man. I believe it. So, Cube, what else? What do you have coming up for the holidays, brother? Are you going to be on the road a lot with the family? Or are you sticking around Kansas? What's the game plan?
Well, game plan is I'm walking through the Christmas Island Target, figuring what else I need to light money on fire. No, we do a family skiing trip. We go out to Breckenridge, and then I go out to Hawaii shortly thereafter. But just a bunch of family stuff here, local, outside of the traveling bit. Pretty low key. Smoke a bunch of meats on the Traeger, have a good time, drink a lot of bourbon.
Bro, all of that sounds amazing. Like, Breck is amazing. I love Breck. I've never been to Hawaii, but Hawaii sounds great. I mean, Traeger is always amazing. As long as you know how to use it and you're not overcooking the shit that you put on there. Like, I miss smoking meat. Smoking meats is an underrated hobby on the timeline. It used to be a lot more prevalent last bear market.
Are you part of the meat community?
Brother, I used to post a lot about the smoked meats on here. Now I've
Oh,
got Pit Boss, but
see, okay, you're playing in the big leagues.
well, no, but here's the deal. So the Pit Boss, when I bought it back in the day, I bought it in the middle of COVID, right? I was also a little bit more on a budget, but the I used equally Pit Bosses and Traegers when I was working out in the field, the oil field, right? And equally switched between the two of them. Saw no performance drop off with Pit Bosses whatsoever. If anything, I like the interface better. And I was able to get a big one for half the price. Able to get it easily, set it up, get it going. It has everything that you need with it, and I absolutely love that thing, man. I put so many hours on it.
Yeah, it's fun. I forget. Yeah, you got kind of ag background, so in the world of agriculture, I buy a quarter or a half every year, and it's just the steaks you buy when you know where the cow came from. And if you got a smoker, it's just next level. Got to do it. My favorite thing to do is make my own jerky out of roast. That's probably my favorite thing. That and pizzas outside of the barbecue realm, smoking your own pizzas you make at home. That's fun.
No, dude, I've never been crazy enough to actually try smoking the pizzas yet. So that's next level. Still haven't gotten there. It's on the bucket list for things to get to, though. Eventually, that is, the just never been bold enough to go for it. I know where I can get good pizzas. I know how I can f up a good pizza. So I don't know.
I'll slide in the DMs. It's cake. It's cake. Easiest pie, pizza pie, dad joke. There you go. There's my age.
Love it, love it.
Clay, I wanted to ask, are you gonna make it out to South by Southwest?
When is it?
Isn't it in like March?
I'll shoot for it. I don't see why not. I could definitely shoot over there for a little bit. I've got
Yeah, it's
some
gonna
buddies
be
who
the 10th through the 19th.
I've got some buddies who live in Austin, so I may hit them up now and just make a plan out of it. So, yeah, why not? Bringing it up now is a lot better than me doing week up like I typically do. So I'm gonna send that text as we're talking right now.
Yeah, cool. Because I was thinking about doing the same thing. I haven't been back to Texas since I moved out, so.
Yeah, man, you've been the Colorado transplant ever since. But I mean, now's the right time of year to be living in Colorado, as long as you're actually making it out there to the mountains. See, I see you crying down there, man. You got to hop up on stage. Yeah, man. It's March. I think is the best time of the year in Texas. You're looking at solid weather, especially in the Austin area. It's a little bit drier. And it's before everything gets too hot because I don't know, I don't think any of y'all went to Consensus, but I went to Consensus in June. Dude, everybody was just sweating their balls off the entire time. It was absolutely horrible. And especially when a lot of the events are outside and you're making that trek, it's just not nearly as fun. So I think South by Southwest is a way better time to visit.
Yeah, 100%. And then yeah, I've been definitely enjoying the mountains while I'm up here. I've already hit it quite a few times this season. Need to go back soon, but girlfriend's car is in the shop, and mine is not a mountain car. So I'm gonna get a rental here again soon, one that can get us up here. But I want to do more water sports again. Get back out on the boat, Lake Travis, Lake Belton, just like 45 minutes north of that. Miss the boats.
Got to make it happen, man. Got to make it happen. Is there anything cool in the world of NFTs going on this weekend coming up here? I'm curious. Second question. Did any of y'all end up securing anything from that Blur 2 airdrop? I saw there were a lot of people, even people that were actively using Blur, that it looked like there were a lot of errors as far as anybody actually securing that. Rooster, I know you said that you were trying to do some of the steps. Did you actually end up receiving anything from that, or did it end up blocking you out of it?
10 times bigger my ass is all I'm gonna say about that. I, their interface honestly is so god awful. I am not a fan of Blur. I don't know. I really don't understand what's going on that thing. 10 times, yeah, I got like 10% of what I got on the first drop. So I
No
don't know.
way, man.
Yeah, I don't know. And like I said, somehow my loyalty went down. I was just trying to follow all the steps to maximize, but it ended up costing me, NFTs on their platform because I could not delist them because they have no mobile support at all. If you're going to use Blur, make sure you have access to a computer or maybe an iPad, I think.
Well, that's why I was curious whether you ended up getting rewarded for that, because
No.
last week when we did this, the Blur drop hadn't happened yet. And I know you were sitting there saying, hey, well, this panda sold way beneath where I wanted it to, because I had it listed on Blur because I wanted, to be eligible, increase my loyalty score, do all of that. So you're telling me basically, unless you get at least like 0.3 ETH out of that second airdrop, you probably ended up a net negative by using Blur instead of just like going the regular route.
Right, 110%. And I deposited some ETH into their, pool to make bids because there's a third airdrop now, of course. And then I don't know where that went. I bought some frogs on Blur, and somehow money got deleted out of the pool that I set it up in, or the offer pool, even though I was buying it with non-offer ETH. So yeah, my Roosters review. I do not like Blur at this moment, unless if
They've got a
unless if these airdrops are a fat Christmas stimmy or New Year's stimmy.
How many
will be
boxes did you
boycotting
end
it.
up with total?
This last time, one.
Only one?
That's
Or
what I'm saying.
was it at
That's
least like
why.
a legendary or something?
No, it was one
No way.
uncommon. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where they factor in 10 times bigger, but that was some bullshit.
I thought you were going to catch up to me on boxes, man. I thought it was going to happen. I think
No.
I've got I thought I was looking at a measly 70 something. Um, I definitely didn't qualify for the second one, but yeah, it looks like I was really looking at it, by the way they said everything was going to be 10 times bigger. I thought everybody else at the end of this second drop would just have hundreds of boxes, like
Right?
everybody across the board. And then my 70 something were going to be worthless.
No, I have no idea where I went wrong. I have seen the reviews about a lot of people not being too happy. Honestly, I haven't seen any posts about people talking about how fat their second drop was. So
I
yeah, we'll
think
see.
the only person that I saw post something like that was Franklin. I think Franklin got 700 and something boxes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that is the only example of somebody that I heard, get rewarded disproportionately to the first one.
Yep.
So it
Not
makes you
not in my
wonder too, like,
experience.
I don't think they've even shared anything about the tokenomics. And if they have, one of the things with these type of airdrops, again, like look at Looks Rare, right? Looks Rare brought a ton of volume in with the rare airdrop there at the beginning, but like they have slowly and steadily been declining on volume ever since because their platform just isn't superior. It's inferior to OpenSea. So, I think it's something similar with this, right? We're seeing there's some things that are nice about Blur, and maybe they'll improve with time. But the question is, will people stick around long enough to give them a chance to do this?
The only semi nice thing you can argue, I would say, is the fact that you can bypass royalties, which I'm not really too much of a fan about, anyways. Because I understand why the royalties are there, and morally, you should be, trading with the royalties. So that's really the only thing that they got going for them is, you can undercut the floor on Blur and make more money. So pretty toxic, actually, if you ask me.
So yeah, the general consensus is, if anything, either liquidate your Blur tokens immediately, or, one thing we've seen with a lot of these, sometime within the first week, I think is smart, because
Yeah.
sometimes with this type of shit, you'll get about a week's worth of hype and run up, and then it'll end up dumping. But either way, when you look like 2 to 3 months down the road, anybody that actually holds on to their bag for longer than that, I guarantee you will be way lower than whatever it ends up listing at immediately.
Yeah, there's the 3-day rule. I
Yeah,
really want
that's
to
what I
find
was
that.
about to say.
Yeah, I forgot where that tweet was, but it was a really good tweet. I have to see if I bookmarked it, but I think someone did the average of pretty much all the airdrops over the last 2 years, and I think it was about 2 to 3 days is like the peak. So even sooner than a week.
Well, yeah, it's the same with ENS, right? Like ENS, I thought that I was kind of dumb because I liquidated almost immediately for 40 something bucks. And, then it went up to 80 or something like that. But now look at the ENS token, it's way beneath that.
Yeah, but then it's like, what did you do with that money afterwards, right? It's not like you withdrew it. So it's like,
I
you
bought
know.
more stonks, baby. I literally converted it and swept some stonks. That's exactly what I did with it.
Hey, that's a great
That's a
long-term
smart money
decision.
moves. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that is
smart money
that
moves.
is. Yeah, I think on Nansen, that's God tier. You're in a class of your own on Nansen.
Yeah, for real. Cleo
Dude,
class.
so I just pinned something I thought was really interesting. There's a 2,000 ETH buy wall, I think, if I'm not stupid reading that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a 2,000 ETH buy wall spread. This looks like a Finex buy wall. I don't know who's doing it, but pudgies are not going below 4, unless someone somehow has that many. Like that's like 5% of the supply.
Yeah,
Of
I mean, if you're looking at it all the way down to 4, that's over 2,000. That's like 3,000.
if it, I just have to, we have to question the legitimacy of it, but
Yeah, if they're inflating the numbers too.
yeah, but I mean, I don't think that would get filled anyway. Like I think the majority, like you might get about 100 of those filled, but maybe the plan is to keep it here for a while.
Yeah, that was another thing I'm pissed about Blair too. Um, when little pudgies were like point two, I had just like trying to gain money for the airdrop. I listed it for like 3 days. My little pudgy at 0.33, and then I delit. While I was in Basel, I delisted it during open or on OpenSea only. Um, but someone bought the cleanest little pudgy that exists. It was a puffer and a beanie combo, nothing in the hands. It was my favorite pudgy, and now I don't have that little pudgy anymore. So boycott Blur.
Dude, Blur is just totally gonna do like 1,000 airdrops. Airdrop 800. Keep it like they're just gonna keep doing that. Imagine like they just don't release a token, and you just keep you just keep open. It's like the crate opening simulator. That's what it becomes, like over the next year.
Yeah. Oh
Hey
man.
guys, love vibing with you guys. I'll stay listening, but I won't be able to talk, so I'm going to drop. But appreciate y'all. Good to see you, Rooster, Cube, Bog, Cleo. Nice to talk to you guys, man.
Have a good
Yeah.
one.
Thanks, Stinky Duck.
Oh man, I'm still recovering from Art Basel. It was so fun. Like Cleo, like if you like the pudgy party, like I'm not trying to, I know what happened. Like, but it was next year. We gotta get the wonkies there. It was I didn't even have a chance to meet like the wonky guys because there was just so many damn things going on. But
Yeah. Then the Room 110 event ended up being like during the Pudgy event as well. So I wanted
yeah,
to go to the Pudgy event.
dude,
That was the one thing that I really wanted to do that I missed.
yeah. If you guys want to know about real utility, I landed like an hour after the party started. I got my flight got delayed, but I go in and I was like, I don't know where I'm gonna put my bags. I don't want to go all the way to like Brickell and then go back to Wynwood. So I go in and I'm like, yo, Luca. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I got you. And I pull up to the go to the front, and he just he has a Rolls Royce like SUV in the front. And he's like, yeah, just leave your car, leave your bags in the rolls. I'm like, all right, get that VIP treatment. But yeah, like that was pretty epic. Um, and yeah, there was just so many people there that a couple people that were I can't dox. There was a couple people there that some people didn't even know were there, but like I promised I wouldn't dox. But there's a lot of people in the community that we all know that just don't, that don't say they have pudgies, but kind of interesting.
Bog, now that you're finally talking, am I able to buy stuffed pudgy penguins? I was effing around in your guys'
Oh
Discord and on
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Twitter.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. They're not. Luca was giving out those prototypes. Those aren't even.
Okay, they're just
Yeah, yeah. They're gonna Q1 of next year is I think the date I was given for
okay.
my toy.
I got you. Yeah, they're cute as shit.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I didn't have a chance to go to the headquarters because I didn't get there a day early. But yeah, those plushies are awesome. Like those are gonna sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, like
Hey, what
my
happened to the mochi donuts?
Oh yeah, yeah,
ooh
yeah. They
yeah.
had those too. We had the donuts at the Uniswap donuts. I had the box. I brought the box back as a souvenir, but they were a hit. I think we're gonna go with food trucks next. I got to talk to Luca to see, but like yeah, those were all yeah, those were like sold out. Like I mean, like they had a bunch of food, but like the donut truck was done like pretty fast. So I was actually just doing like QA and just like in between like introducing myself and meeting people, I was like asking like I saw anyone with a donut. I'm just like, so how do you like those donuts? And everyone's like, oh my god, these are amazing. And I don't know if they were drunk. Honestly, it's kind of tough to tell or if they were lying to me, but I think it was overwhelmingly positive. So we're gonna figure out the next steps. But yeah, the donuts like went really really well, and it was really cool to see like that being part of it. Like and Luca really like kind of hooked it up and got the whole thing and they had their own merch too. I think it was called the Donut Shop, like that we worked with for the event. But yeah, that was I think there were about 1,000 donuts, and yeah, those went pretty fast.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yeah, but
Love.
Speaking of which, too, kind of, if anybody here knows anyone at High Noon, get at me. The pandas are looking for a High Noon collab. White Claw has already tried, but Bags does not like White Claw. He calls it malt liquor shit. He's an exclusive High Noon guy. So if anybody knows anyone at High Noon, holler at me.
Hey, isn't White Claw doing? Oh, no, that's Truly. I was going to say Truly as a vodka drink that they have coming up.
Oh, do they? Yeah, I honestly kind of enjoyed White Claws myself, but Bags is anti White Claw, so
I had some of that ape water. It was like like that was supposed to be like the seltzer. Like there's a bunch of it going around, but maybe that's how I got the flu.
yeah,
Bro, I
probably.
believe that. Like one sip of ape water, they've got like it's a surprise. COVID, the flu. Depending on the bottle, the flavor, the brand that you grab, you're going to come down with something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
totally
what a
wasn't anything
funny
else I got up
coincidence.
to over the weekend. It's totally the ape water.
Yeah, I'm surprised that came out unscathed in terms of like sickness. I figured like probably I'd come back not feeling too hot, but only took me 24 hours to shake, to detox a little bit, and then I was gravy, ready to go back. Me and B-Ways kind of link up again soon. Oh man,
Oh no, we
yeah,
had a lot of fun, dude. Like we had an Airbnb. It was like six of us, and this one dude, like he like forgot. I don't know what happened, but we all got pretty blackout the first night, and like the next morning, he like wakes us all up, and he had his like he lost his Rolex apparently, and we all
oh,
felt bad. We're like, but I was
fuck,
like, I remember we were talking about it the night before. I'm like, nah, dude, like I'm sure it's here. And then like literally a minute into looking, we found it like in the room, like he like put it in a cabinet or something stupid, like when he was drunk. And I'm like, Doug, did you even check before you and we all felt bad and we were all worried. I'm like, come on, you didn't even like look. So the next day he passes out. He puts the watch like right next to him, and I'm like, yeah, let's just fuck with him. So we took his Rolex and we put it on the sprinkler in the Airbnb, and we're like, all right, let's see what happens. The next day, like he wakes up, he's like look. I guess like I thought he would realize right away, but we went to the sauna. We got breakfast. and like a couple, this is like 5-6 hours into the day, and then he's just like, dude, I think I actually lost my watch this time. And I saw him like slowly getting more worried throughout the day, and I didn't have the heart to like let it go on too much. And I was like, hey, dickhead, did you check the sprinkler? And he was like, oh, like he was like instantly relieved. But some pranks we play on each other is, pretty fun.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
the exact reason I brought my fake Rolex.
Keyboard Monkey got jacked, dog.
Really?
wait,
No
at
way.
Basel?
Yeah. I don't know where he
Any
was,
story
but he
behind
lost.
that?
He lost. Yeah, someone jacked his watch. I don't know. Like it was a whole professional job. I think
A
he was at the
profession.
club. I don't know where he was at,
Bro,
but
I'll say this, like that's why honestly, I think it's, you know, each person do their own thing, but those type of events, I just don't think it's smart to bring, those type of watches and stuff. Like I
Right.
think it's better,
Exactly.
bring
Exactly.
it to a nice house party. Like,
yeah. I think you could get away with a Rolex, like depending on how icy it is. But I mean, you can't bring it. I think an AP like tier or above, like that, you're a target. Like you're 100% a mark.
exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, my phone keeps rugging me. I don't know if you've noticed. There have been
Yeah.
several times that I completely cut out for a bit. So I may, and I do actually end up having to wrap up the space here in a few minutes anyway. So apologize cutting you guys off. It's been fun, as always. And we'll be back next Friday, same time, same place. So appreciate it, y'all. And I've enjoyed it. It's been a good one.
Have a good
Yeah,
weekend, folks. Take care.
been good. Have a great weekend, everybody.